figure in the history of the Rochester Americans, Joe Crozier helped lay the foundation for one of the AHL's flagship franchises. Crozier played 12 professional seasons as a defenseman, making AHL stops in Springfield and Providence before first joining Rochester and helping them to a berth in the 1960 Calder Cup Finals. After his retirement, Crozier returned to the Amerks as head coach and soon added the duties of general manager. Within 2 years, Crozier's club was the class of the American Hockey League. Beginning in 1965, the Amerks reached 4 consecutive Calder Cup Finals and won 3 championships, the most prolific run by any team in AHL history. Crozier moved on from Rochester but returned to the AHL as coach of the Cincinnati Swords in 1971. He was promoted mid-season to become head coach of the Buffalo Sabres and would make the same leap from New Brunswick to the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1980. Crozier returned to the Amerks for one final season behind the bench and guided the club to yet another finals appearance, his 5th trip in 6 seasons as Rochester's coach. Joe Crozier retired in 1984 with a career record of 305 victories, 199 defeats, and 46 ties, an impressive .596 winning percentage.
Congratulations, Joe, on a well-deserved induction into the American Hockey League Hall of Fame. You were my first National Hockey League coach, and I have terrific memories of it. You were very caring of myself and some of the young defensemen on our Buffalo Sabres team. And one of the things that I used to look forward to every year was that Christmas card you used to send out with a black crow on it. And the headline was, "The Crow Knows." And the Crow knew because he taught us a lot of really good things on the ice and off the ice as young players. Congratulations again, Joel. Very proud of you.
On behalf of the Montreal Canadiens and myself, I'd really like to congratulate you on your induction to the American Hockey League Hall of Fame. Well-deserved, fantastic. We're so happy for you. And after all those years of playing and coaching, you've taught so many people so many things, and you brought so many guys to their highest levels. And it was a lot to do with hard work, and you were very dedicated, and you got the most out of your players. And the one thing I do remember is a night where we didn't play as well as we needed to, and you'd be there at center ice there with your coffee in your chair, and you'd be making us skate there. And obviously it made us much better players. And congratulations to you again, and thank you so much for making us better people.
Congratulations, Joe. Welcome to the family, and couldn't happen to a better guy. I learned so much from you my first couple years in Moncton. You were a hard coach, but I mean, not only were you fair, you taught me a lot and stuff that I still use today on the basics. You were well ahead of your time and dedicated, and there's still drills I do to this day that are called Joe Crozier drills. So it's I think it's an honor that's way overdue for you, and the next step is the NHL Hockey Hall of Fame. So, but congratulations, and I'm proud of you. Thank you.
You know, I got to talk about Joe Crozier. He was my coach for 6 years, and I had more fun. We won 3 Calder Cups. Him and Punch were the best. Maybe Punch was the best coach I ever had. Joe was close second. He was a player, GM. I mean, he did it all. And him and I used to fight the whole time. You know, he was so superstitious. Is that the word? I mean, it was a joke after a while. I remember one time, we used to have a plastic garbage bag in the room, and he used to come in and kick it all the time. Well, we changed it into a steel one, and he came in mad at us, kicked the thing, broke his toe. He wore a slipper. We went on a streak. He wouldn't take it off. I mean, the guy really was unbelievable. Joel, you were a great coach. I don't know where I'd be without you. You helped me out. I had a tough time after I retired. You brought me out to Vancouver for a while. You're a great coach, you're a great guy, and you deserve your great honor that you'll get tonight, Joe. I can't say enough about you. I wouldn't be where I am today without you.
Joe, it wasn't easy to get Don to wear that. It's an honor to have Joe Crozier with us today, and we invite his son Richard at Joe's request to accept on his behalf. Richard?
Good morning. My name is Richard Crozier. I'm Joe's son. What an honor it is for me to have the opportunity to share a few remarks on my dad's behalf. I'd first like to congratulate all the other inductees and comment that my father feels great pride in sharing this honor with all of you. I'd also like to introduce the members of our family who were able to be with us here today. My mother, Bonnie Crozier, my brother, Greg Crozier, his wife, Jen, his daughters, Bryn and Layla, my wife, Becky, our sons, Joe and Jake, my daughters, Sydney and Lily, my in-laws, Glenn and Pat Roth, our grandmother, Musette Brooks, and our aunt, Susan Brooks. I'd also like to thank the members of the Buffalo Sabres and Rochester Americans organization that are here as well, Mr. Ted Black, Mr. John St. Clair, and Mr. Rob Kopaz. It means a lot to me and my father that so many of you made an effort to come here to Atlantic City and share in this special day. As I've reflected over the past few weeks on what I wanted to share with all of you regarding my father and his successes in hockey, I was somewhat overwhelmed by the many memories and stories that have accompanied my father's career in hockey. 65 years ago, he left home in Winnipeg at age 17 to begin his journey. And certainly this moment, this honor, is the exclamation point of a fantastic career and life in the game of hockey. I could go on and on about the outstanding championship hockey teams that my father coached in Rochester in the 1960s. I cannot tell you the number of times that my dad would point to the banners in the Rochester War Memorial, or even how when driving to Rochester from Buffalo, he would always make the declaration that Rochester was his town. And while my father had successes in other cities such as Cincinnati, Moncton, Buffalo, Vancouver, Calgary, Kitchener, and Toronto, there is no doubt that Rochester is not only where he found his greatest success, but is also the city where he's the most emotionally attached to the players, people, and to the franchise. This honor today would not be possible if it wasn't for the Rochester Americans franchise and their devoted fans. As my father has boasted on many occasions, the fans in Rochester are the best fans in the game. To the Rochester Americans, your nomination of my father for this special recognition will be treasured by him for the rest of his life. Simply stated, another classy move by a first-class organization. In addition, I could go on and on about the talented players that my father has had the opportunity to coach. As a coach myself, I realize the important role that great players have in your ability to succeed. Dad especially wanted me to mention specific players from his team in the 60s, including Don Cherry, Al Arbor, Jerry Cheevers, Dick Gamble, and Bronco Horvath, to name a few. Furthermore, as I continue to reflect on my father's 65-year career in hockey, I realize that Joe Crozier has dedicated his life to this game. What I personally respect about my father is that he has dedicated his life to his passion. If you know my father, he is very intense. He has a tremendous work ethic, and he is an incredible motivator. He was successful as a coach because he brought his passion, intensity, and work ethic to his teams, and he insisted that his players emulate his character strengths on the ice. And if that weren't enough to motivate, this is a man who would bring his team to the racetrack in Batavia, have them lose all their money gambling, just so he could throw wads of bills down on the dressing room floor and shout, "You want this money? Go out there and earn it." we all know as players usually did. And yet, while reflecting on my father's accomplishments, character traits, motivational tactics, what I continue to come back to is why I personally think my father is most deserving of this remarkable honor today. While I can go on and on about how passionate and intense my father is about hockey, I can tell you that there is only one thing that is more important to him: family. What I respect the most about my father is the decision that he made in the mid-1980s when I was still a young boy. My father was asked to step down as assistant coach of the Sabres, and he was faced with a difficult decision about the next step in his career. As a successful hockey coach for many years, there were certainly opportunities for him to further his career in coaching. Instead of moving my mother and our family for the 9th time in 10 years to coach in a new place, my father made the decision to sacrifice his personal aspirations for the betterment of his family. He worked in the hockey department as a scout for the Sabres, and even later sold tickets in the box office. While swallowing his pride, he continued to go to work every day with the same passion, intensity, and work ethic as if he were behind the bench. And while my brother and I achieved our own successes in hockey by winning national championships at Michigan or winning state championships at St. Joe's High School, my father stood on the sidelines. My dad, the championship coach, was beaming with pride, knowing that it was his sacrifices and his choice of putting his family first that allowed my brother and I to be successful in the game as well. I'm so proud of you, Dad. Not just because you're a successful hockey coach or even now an AHL Hall of Famer. I'm proud of you because you're a great father. And while the rest of the world recognized you as a Hall of Famer today, you've been in my Hall of Fame for a long, long time. Congratulations.
When Dave Andrews called me to tell me that I was going into the Hall of Fame with the American Hockey League, I was so excited. It was unbelievable. It was just like winning another Calder Cup. It was so much fun because I spent so much time with the American Hockey League. I thought that it was a nice thing, a nice honor, especially as I'm getting up in age. I thought it was just a great thing. I have to take time here to thank Dave Andrews and the Springfield Indians for putting me in, plus the board of directors, plus Punch Imlach with the Toronto Maple Leafs, who sent all those nice players over to me so I could win all those championships. There was just such a great thing. Plus the Buffalo Sabres. What a team that we have now. It's just a matter of time that we'll put it together and we're going to go from there. So just stay with us. Don't say what. They ask me now, what's wrong with the Buffalo Sabres? I say, just hold your horses, gang. It's just a matter of time we'll put this thing together. I've done it in the past and it'll happen again. It's just a matter of time. So stay with us. Just don't say, what's the matter with those Sabres? We've got good ownership, good people running the ship, and that's the most important thing. Thank you very, very much for coming. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.